Y'all now tuned to In the Slime We Trust News, your number one source for the sauce. And today we got some breaking news that's trending everywhere right now. All the blogs are picking it up. Everybody's making videos. Everybody's talking about it on the internet. And your boy, NBA YoungBoy, has said that he's moved to South Korea, which is a very odd place to go, I must say. And never in life is he returning back to the United States. Now, some of y'all may um heard this rumor already or seen this clip because he did a little interview with Funny Marco, which I'll play the clip after, which he told Funny Marco this in the interview, which NBA YoungBoy don't do many interviews. And in this hour-long interview, which had 1 million views, 2 million views, 3 million views in only 2 days, obviously he was being very personal with Marco. 100% of what he was telling Marco was the truth. Everything he said in that interview. And your boy barely cracked a smile. Looked like he's going through some things, which he later on told us in the interview he was. But anyways, like I said, this is trending like crazy right now. Let's click one of these links and we gonna read what they wrote so far about what's going on. What's going on, chat? All messages turned on. So we're gonna, as you see, 8 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 8 hours ago. Everybody's picking it up now. We'll click on KTLA. So famous rapper says he's ditching the U.S. for South Korea permanently. Sheesh. So one of the most popular rappers among young people in America indicated recently that he has left the US and has no plans to return. NBA YoungBoy sat down for a chat with comedian and internet personality Funny Marco as parts of the latter's Open Thoughts web series. In less than 24 hours premiering on YouTube, it gained more than 1.8 million views. Now, this interview, Funny Marco, he's known for being a funny personality on the internet, but he didn't crack one joke the whole interview. That's how serious this interview was. So it says Marco quickly establishes that the interview is taking place in South Korea. And I want to add that until I read this, I didn't even know that the interview, which I've watched, was actually in South Korea at the time. When he told Funny Marco that, he's never coming back to America and he's staying in South Korea. I didn't actually know he was already there also. That's crazy. So he's admitting to his guest that it was his first time traveling internationally. YoungBoy, a Baton Rouge, Louisiana native whose real name is Kentrell Deshawn Golden, also mentioned that it was his first time in South Korea and that he has been enjoying his time there very much. When asked what was different about Korea, YoungBoy was blunt at first, stating simply that he liked the country because it's out the way. Probably out the way of, BS, people arguing, people fighting, people, worrying about little stuff, which he's over. I'm assuming, especially after he announced later in the interview also that he's suffering heart problems, y'all. He then elaborated a little bit. I get the energy too. It's very safe here and very clean. I also want to add though, the laws are very strict in South Korea. You can't go and get caught with all that shit you got caught with in the USA and expect to get a break. Cause they gonna fry you if you get caught with a bag of paraphernalia, anything out there. Which tells me NBA YoungBoy might be locked in where he's in South Korea right now. He don't know anybody. He don't have no connections out there, and he don't really need anything. No drugs he's dependent on for a first time in a long time, and that probably feels good. A lot of rappers can't do that because they can't access the drugs they need out there, and I'm gonna keep it 100%. So check this out. I didn't even know that he had 34 albums. The conversation then progressed on how the prolific rapper has left in the tank. YoungBoy, also known as YB, and a slew of other nicknames, has had 34 albums chart in the Billboard 200, which is the most of any rapper in history. Unfortunately for his notorious unstable fan base, YoungBoy, a 26-year-old father of at least 11 children, sheesh, with 8 different women, said he only has 1 or 2 albums left in just one tour. Now I believe he also stated this. He has 1 or 2 albums left, if that, because the heart problems that he's going through. So I believe after watching this interview, he wants to go to South Korea. He wants to enjoy the rest of his life and his riches. So it later goes to say, I'll go on tour one more time throughout my whole life, and that's it, he stated. Which is crazy because I think YoungBoy's only been on tour once or twice because he's been on home confinement a long ass time. And that tour he just had, the Master Tour, super successful. At this moment, Marco asked the big question: does YB ever see himself back in the United States? Y'all ready, guys? What's going on, chain breakers? Long time no see. The answer was simple, chat, yet bold. Never in life. What y'all think about that? Funny Marco asked him. I'm gonna play a clip after this. Would you ever return to the United States? Never in life. So the Slime Belief rapper then went on to explain that he always felt that as a youth he never had the chance to travel like he is now, so he enjoys the feeling of being somewhere new. Alright, so if you never traveled before, you've been on the bracelet and Baton Rouge most of your life, or Utah, why don't you go to like Florida? You know, a lot of old folks live in like Orlando or Kissimmee, Florida, where you can go to Miami Beach and have, water parks and Disney World. What's in South Korea? First of all, shit's all tensed up right now with North Korea, South Korea, Ukraine, and Russia allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a weird place. Plus, their laws is crazy. Can you even stream out there? But anyways, I don't have a problem with being away. It's nothing new for me, he said. The most important thing is probably my kids, but that's what they have planes for. Now that's true. Like you got 11 kids. That's going to be very a huge responsibility to be able to spend time and see all 11 kids when you got to send planes back and forth from South Korea. He said, where's he said, but that's what they have planes for. Whether YoungBoy is actually telling the truth remains to be seen. Although it may be interesting to hear him on a K-pop song, Chain Breakers. So they crack a little funny. And say it'd be funny if he jumps on a K-pop song while he's out there. It's the old YoungBoy right here. NBA YoungBoy's career took off in the late 2010s after he released a string of mixtapes while in out of juvenile detention in Louisiana. In 2020, he became the first rapper to top the Billboard 200 charts 3 times in a single year. In the following year, his Sincerely Kentrell project put him on the list with Tupac Shakur and Lil Wayne. Amazing accomplishments at his age. As the only artists to have their album debut atop the charts while incarcerated. And mind you, he's still alive. And on that note, throughout his short but prolific career, YoungBoy has dealt with numerous legal issues, but continued to drop music at a rapid pace, which helped him garner his fan base. While they began in 2016, his most significant run-in with the law came in 2020, when he, along with 16 others, were arrested in Baton Rouge by federal agents, the feds, conducting an investigation into drug manufacturing and distribution, as well as stolen firearms. From which I remember from that case, I believe he went on a high-speed chase also. Don't quote me on that, but in 2021, he was arrested again in Los Angeles by federal agents, the feds, in connection with the same investigation, which resulted in an additional firearm charged against him. Another firearm charge. Like, this is insane. You better really be, what they say, rehabilitated. Like, you better really be changed if you plan on going to North Korea. Because they gonna fry you for any little thing you do. Mind you, you out on pardon by Trump. You've been out for what, a year, if that? I don't know if that's the best place for you, bud. But that's what he said he's doing. That's what's on his mind. Look, it gets even crazier. While it says the most significant run-in with the law came in 2020, when he, along with 16 others, oh, we just read that one. It says, oh, right, yeah. He was arrested in Los Angeles by federal agents in connection with the same investigation, which resulted in additional firearm charge against him. He was eventually found not guilty in the LA case, but found guilty in the Baton Rouge case and given a 23 months in prison, followed by 60 months of probation. YoungBoy spent over 3 years in federal custody. The feds, including house arrest, before being released on probation in April 2025. 2 months later, he was granted a full presidential pardon by Donald Trump. That's another accomplishment, getting a pardon by Donald Trump. For Donald Trump to know who you are and what you're doing out here, that's crazy. And to give you another chance. So anyways, let's play this clip real quick from the infamous interview where he actually set out his own mouth on a one-on-one conversation with Funny Marco, which was a very serious conversation that, he's not leaving South Korea and he's not coming back to America. And he also said, which is very unfortunate, that his doctor told him he has health problems, which he never discussed before. His heart, one side's growing bigger than the other. But let's check this out real quick, chat. All right.
It's an honor to be here. This is my first time. It's my first time traveling international. And when was your first time?
I can't remember.
And we're in Korea right now.
I put on the caption because it might be a little hard to understand them.
And this was the first, you remember the first time you've been to Korea?
This time. This time.
Oh, this time?
Yeah.
And what are some things that are like different that made you just say like, I want to be here or stay here?
What's going on, PC? That's right, no extradition. What's he planning?
Just out the way.
With me being here, our experience is different, the food different.
He's talking about being in South Korea right now, which I never noticed this part of the interview, and why he enjoys being here. Listen.
It just felt free, different.
You ate anything that you like?
Yeah,
What was that?
just being able to. I feel like a different world. I feel like I'm living in a different life or time that I didn't know it was real over here. Like it just open your eyes up to life to see how big it is and how you can just, looking at the streets, there's nothing on the streets, how they treat their world right, how they throw no trash on the ground or nothing like that. That was one thing that stood out to me.
Yeah, I get that energy too. It's like it's very safe here and very clean.
So with you making music, you have a lot of projects out. Is it a project? What's your
He has 11 children. Now that's a weird reason to move to South Korea because it's very clean on the streets and safe. There's a few other places you could go also in the United States that got clean streets, in upper class neighborhoods that are safe. You know what I mean? That's a very odd place to pick. It looks like he's been through a lot. Look at him in this interview. He don't smile once, and this is funny Marco, who's a comedian. He don't crack one joke.
favorite project that you know, like this will always be remembered?
I don't have one.
What a story that means something.
That
Do you ever see yourself going back to the States, like moving?
one for sure. I'll go on tour one more time throughout my whole life, and that's it.
Do you ever see yourself going back to the States, like moving?
I'm going like to the United States.
You know, to move?
Never in life. Never.
Y'all heard him? That's what he says right there, that he's never going back to the United States.
So just staying here. How did you get the power to
PC, he's actually in South Korea right now. I just said in the beginning of this live that I didn't even know that he was actually in South Korea during this interview, which makes this even all more crazier and make more sense. You know what I mean? And it sounds 100%, that's what he's gonna do. And usually he don't say things and not do it, young boy. He must been through a lot of shit for that man to want to be out in North Korea to feel peace. That's crazy.
like adapt? Like like this is home. Like, 'cause it's not easy for someone just to leave, somewhere where they been all their life.
I used to always feel like I never had opportunity to get away or to like leave that place. So it was like I don't have no problem with being away. It's nothing there for me. It's nothing there for me at all. Um, Probably the most important thing is my kids. They there, but that's what they got planes for. That's what um
You heard him, PC. The most important thing is his kids, which makes sense. But he says that's what they got planes for. Like that seems super inconvenient. You know how much money you're gonna have to spend on planes? And then he later on says in the interview though, which makes sense, he don't talk to his mother no more, which turned into a big argument. It's another subject for another video between him and his mother. She ended up replying. He only seen his father a handful of times. So he got no family. You know what I'm saying? Besides the 11 kids. I know that's what I was thinking, but I'm not gonna judge anybody. I'm not gonna put anything out there. So this man gonna be all the way in South Korea. Do you know there's nobody in there to do interviews with? There's nobody to network with. There's nobody to really make songs with. But he says he only wants to do one more album. So like I was saying earlier, it looks like he wants to, retire and enjoy his life and his riches. The doctor just told him, I don't know if you heard, that he's having heart problems right now. One side of his heart's growing bigger than the other, which he says in this interview.
Kind of financial stable to get around, so I ain't know that.
Mm-hmm. It's so much to ask. And I know you say you start writing more when it comes
He said it's something I never told anybody before. Do they got the chapters on here?
to like jotting down like thoughts. What do you advise to people that, that don't do that now? Do you feel like it opened up another side of you where you're able to just write down things and just keep the book?
It really just came, it got to that point with me because I think I talked less today than I ever did.
What's going on, Jennifer Harden? How you doing today? Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. August 13th. A lot of people in the comments are also saying, if you look at this kid's face, NBA YoungBoy, this interview, you could see he's going through a lot. Like I said earlier, he don't smile, he don't laugh. Even Funny Marco don't even crack a joke. His name's Funny Marco. Like, this whole interview is just tense and serious, but he's being real and honest.
And I really don't record music.
Yup.
Like, I barely make songs nowadays, so it's like.
And it's crazy because you're rich. You're the #1 rapper right now. You could probably put out a song and freestyle it off the top of your head, and it's going to get 1 million views on YouTube. You got 42 albums out. You know, a lot accomplished. But it looks like in this interview, he's trying to put his past behind him and move forward also. But North Korea, geez.
I just try to jot something down about myself or to myself. That's it.
And in the studio, that's like home. Are you feeling the same like from when you first started in the studio?
Music not on my heart at.
Listen to this, guys. This is where he says he got 1 album left and possibly 2 tours. I think he's saying that because of the heart problems. And that's why I also think he's going to North Korea to live his life and not be bothered. Because he don't know when, your time might be up.
Music is not something that I'm focused on.
And what are some things that you feel like you are want to go into with this new journey?
And what journey?
Leaving music.
I just want to have fun. I just want to do whatever I want. That's it. Stay out the way.
Yeah, just being in your 20s is just like, I feel like you experienced a lot, got to see a lot.
That's true, and I believe he is going through depression or trauma, because I've been there before, and I can see by, the, his choice of drug use that he's going through things. Like, he was called in the pharmacy recently, allegedly he went to jail for ordering Xanax and lean. Now, those are drugs that just pretty much make you black out at the mind, put you at ease, and, just pretty much make your problems, you not think about your problems while you're on it. Anxiety, all types of stuff. I believe he's independent right now, to be honest. He might be like a little side partner with Birdman also. Sound like freaking Jumanji out there.
Let's say like when it comes to NBA YoungBoy and Top and Contrell, do you feel like it's a different type of persona or it's like the same person?
They different. It's very different.
Would you like to go more into like what you know that's different?
Who we talking about again? With the names?
Let's start off with Contrail. Who's Contrail?
Definitely could say though, he looks sober. He ain't smoking on a cigarette like he usually does in his interviews. He ain't got no cup, no double cup near him. So he might be taking things serious.
That's me. That's who you're talking to right now.
More relaxed and calm.
It's just me. Me being out of character. When those other names come about, I think it's just me being in character, you know? It used to be like a movie role that I took on and couldn't put down. And I never like went to go get treatment or something to break out of it. So I just always be crazy.
This is a real interview. He's pretty much telling you his trauma. He said it was like a movie role I picked up and I never went and got help. I couldn't stop it. That's the crazy for a guy that hardly ever does interviews.
Yeah, some shit.
So what about Top? Is him an NBA YoungBoy?
Yeah, I believe that's why he quit. I believe he just recently found out about his heart problems. Not too recent, because he says he never told anybody. But since around the time he's moved to North Korea, decided to stay out there, decided to only put out one album when he's made 42, it looks like that might be what's pushing him to go enjoy his life instead of, you know.
The same person?
No. No. But he a good person though.
He's talking about himself. Funny Marco asked him, who's Top? That's his nickname, Top. He said, I don't know. But he's a good person, though.
I feel like a lot of people don't know like you like to play video games. Do that take your mind away from like, you know, the real? Because I know when I play the game, it's challenging to be able to like when I know I'm gonna lose, like I want to put up a fight. That's why I like to put up a fight of it.
So you guys can go like challenging video games?
Yeah.
I think I do that. It's just something to take your mind away. It's something to do with your friends at times. You know, it's a way of bonding. But other than that, it's just to take your mind away, I guess. Well, for me, it is.
Hello, world. With summer activities, you like to go to an amusement park.
Because you wrong, and you know you was wrong. And
Oh shit, I didn't notice I was muted. This the last little clip I'm gonna play right here. This is funny. He's telling Funny Marco that he's wrong about something that I guess happened before the interview. And then we'll read some comments.
I don't know.
Have you ever like wrecked the car as a kid?
No.
So you just been out the gate, just knowing how to drive.
I always knew how to take my time.
Did you have a favorite teacher in school? Like elementary or like?
Believe it or not, I kind of used to already get. I really don't. I don't fuck with holidays neither. Like I don't know, like rap.
That you grew up on, like as a, and like, do it mean something to you?
Just and by me telling you was wrong
right here,
before we
boys.
started this, instead of sitting there pretending, that shit got your vibe off.
You get so much at a time when you start out doing something that you love, and so much comes so quick when it comes to fame and
You wanna
recognition.
know something? You fuck your own interview up.
I did.
Yep.
He straight up said, can I tell you something? You fucked up your own interview. You know that?
you wrong and you know you was wrong. And by me telling you was wrong before we started this, instead of sitting there pretending, that shit got your vibe off. This ain't never been our vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're wrong. I could tell too. But you wanna know something too? We gonna bypass that. I told you that, so maybe you could open up now and just understand. As I told you about what you did wrong, that's some disloyal shit. But that don't mean I'm telling you that I hate you or I'm your enemy or I don't want to be your friend. I was just telling you so you don't do that to me no more. Cause I ain't deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
And don't no bitch deserve ain't that basically that girl didn't deserve.
When I first heard that, I said that sounded a little emotional. He said, he said, I'm telling you this because it's bothering me and you're my brother. And that shit was crazy. What'd he say? I'm telling you this not because I hate you, but it's because it's bothering me and you're my brother.
Your shit, but that don't mean I'm
But
telling
that's some real shit to say.
you that I hate you or I'm your enemy or I don't want to be your friend. I was just telling you so you don't do that to me no more. Cause I ain't deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
And don't no bitch deserve ain't that basically that girl didn't deserve your loyalty more than mine for you to literally let her make you do that. That's cold, son. I called you my brother.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna know something though?
Mm-hmm.
Never trust a man who'll cheat on his wife. And never trust a bitch who'll fucking marry a man.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. And you will never like hear a lot of dudes say that because either them niggas like pretending with they self and they hiding something from the world. They just fuck niggas.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched that part before when I first seen this interview like 2, 3 times. I never found out what they were talking about. It must have been something that happened prior before the interview and the cameras was off. It looks like he's talking about he sided with some girl over him or something. I don't know.
You know, but I ain't got none of that to do.
Mm-hmm.
If
And
you
I
was,
want.
if you was honest from the beginning, you would have never had to forgive, you know, because everything's just there. And how I run my life today, um, is either you put too much time into something or you ain't put enough. No matter if it's gone bad or good.
Mm-hmm.
That could be with friendships, your job, anything. It's either you put enough time into it or you didn't.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't mind me sharing on the conversation, I was more lost. Like I didn't know what was going on, and
It's cool, and
that's.
I understand that.
Yes, sir. You're right, PC. I remember I covered that case. Aaron Cotton allegedly, when he passed away, he was on lean, Xannies, all that stuff. There was text messages, paraphernalia.
I think even though that it made me very upset.
That was also a case that I said was very fishy and suspect. And he actually accidentally passed away in his bathtub. And I'm seeing that a lot of cases where people pass away in their bathtubs are kind of suspect. But that's another story for another video.
It will actually count as you told me and keep it away from me too long. So it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I give you points at
Yeah.
5 days.
Nothing about the story made sense. He went in his bathtub at 4 in the morning, allegedly, when he was about to pass out because he was so high. He got his two hoodies on, sweatpants. Like I never seen anybody go to take a bath with that because you see that stuff on the floor. There, I don't see no clean clothes for him to get into after. None of that. They must have forgot that part. But then when the autopsy came back after a few fails, of that always happens. There's no water in his lungs. How the hell you passed away in the bathtub and there's no water in your lungs? That makes no sense. So now then everybody's, oh, he must have OD'd and yeah, get out of here.
From now, it won't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I told myself, fuck you, I don't want to be your brother no more, I think it'll matter because that actually means something to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. 5 days from now, it won't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how do you like being a father?
I love it. I feel like me not having my dad there.
That's pretty much it for the NBA YoungBoy. Looks like he's going to South Korea, and he said he's staying there. We already barely hear from this guy. Are we gonna start hearing even less from him? Possibly, because he said he's only planning on one more to two more albums max. And I believe that's because his health. Can't risk going back to jail. But let's read some of these comments, y'all. Future millionaires like here. Who's watching YB on a Thursday? We are. Oh, some people died in their sleep, but God woke us up again. Stop whatever you're doing. NBA has deep rooted hurt, and I hope he one day gets the therapy he needs to heal. Amen. Whoever watching this gonna be great one day. This wasn't an interview. This was two men having a needed, real conversation. Look at this coming out. There's a heaviness on YoungBoy. I pray God heals and answers his unspoken prayers. There's a depth and a light that I hope the world gets to fully see. Marco wasn't nervous. I think he sensed that YoungBoy needed that conversation and not trolling. A lot of people are saying Marco was nervous because every interview, Marco, what he does is troll. He cracks jokes. And like I was trying to say earlier, not once in that interview did he try to troll or crack jokes. That's crazy. Your name's Funny Marco. You gotta give it to him so much grace, for real. He got famous at 15, 16, that's true, and had to see him go through everything he did. And to be where he is now mentally, I love him for this. That's true, Hollywood will, you know what I mean, mess you up. Especially that young of an age. Marco definitely on his best behavior. That's a funny one, chat. Marco on his best behavior. Don't trust the man who cheat on his wife. And never trust a girl who mess with a married man. Got it. I was being sarcastic and showing. That's real right there. You can't, because when you get with that man that cheated on his girl, or you get with that girl that cheated on her married man, guess what? Now you're that person. You're going to be that married man to the next person. You know what I mean? You're going to be that girl to the next person. So that's why Marco wasn't scared. Shit got so deep, it would have been inappropriate to troll him. People expecting this guy to troll in his interviews. Look what somebody said, chat. Funny Marco left the funny at home. Ha ha ha, that's real. Funny Marco left the funny at home. That's funny. So what else? He got serious for this interview. They talking about Marco. Boy, I didn't want to crack a joke. What was I just telling you, chat? Look what the comments are saying. Somebody just said, boy, didn't want to crack a joke. Marco know not to play like he do everyone else. I tell you, Marco, he's straight troll from once the cameras go on to the end. If you go watch his interviews, and it don't matter who he's interviewing. This interview felt like an extended version of "Lonely Child." That's his song. Cantrell said you messed up the interview, so I'll ask the questions now. I know his heart dropped when he said you wrong. The baby mama question was hilarious. Look at the first video I ever seen of Marco visibly nervous to say the wrong thing. They both so awkward and nonchalant, it makes it so much better. Marco started getting comfortable towards the end of the interview. Is that because YoungBoy cleaned it up and said, you know you wrong, and squashed it? This is by far the weirdest interview I've watched. Marco nervous and he never ran out of questions though. Bro, the stuck face be killing me. Crazy, gang. Crazy interview. If y'all haven't watched the whole interview on Open Thoughts with Funny Marco and NBA YoungBoy, I recommend y'all go watch the whole interview when y'all got some free time. It's very intense. It's a real interview. You don't see this side of rappers a lot. And he said there are very lot of viral moments in there. Like I said, he said he's moving to, well, he's already in South Korea. He's never coming back to the United States. He said he's suffering from heart problems, which he's never told anybody. He hardly does interviews or talks to people. So I guess Funny Marco is the first person he told. Who knows how serious these problems are, too? Are they serious enough where he's moving to North Korea, stopping rap, and enjoying his life at 26? But shit, I don't blame him. He's put out 45 albums. Think about that, y'all. 45 albums at 26. Plus the jail time he's done and stuff. I'm sure he's missed a lot of moments and a lot of time in his life. But why North Korea? That don't seem like that seems like a place you can't even stream there without the cops harassing you. And I don't think he cares about streaming, but and that shit's allegedly in the mess with Ukraine and all that and Russia. Like, I don't sound too good of a place to me. What y'all think, chat? And you're a young boy. You can go anywhere, and maybe that's the point. You don't want to get noticed. You can go anywhere and be a king. Italy, that's a nice fancy, upper class country, Italy or something. Where all the designer comes from, the jewelry, in Paris. Y'all know what I'm saying, gang? But North Korea. That's crazy. Oh, South Korea, sheesh. Anyways, chat, I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for the support, ladies. My snipers. So who is he signed with? I believe he's independent, but let me double check that in this before I go. Yeah, I believe he's independent, and that makes sense. Also, if he's independent, PC, why he's saying that he's saying how many albums he's gonna make. They're asking him how many albums you gonna make. He's saying one or two, maybe. You know what I mean? If he was in a label, then he might have a contract to fulfill, like 3 albums, 4 albums, or 2 albums. So he would say, maybe 2 albums when my contract's done. Well, let's see. NBA YoungBoy in a label. Look at then he founded his own label, which is huge right now. Never Broke Again LLC in 2015. Ain't that crazy, y'all? Then I believe he partnered with a few companies. Birdman was one of them. I believe Birdman gave him 10 million at one time straight. Remember, allegedly, he gave Quando a straight million out of that for, riding with him. He also partnered his label with major companies like Atlanta Records and Motown Records for distribution. So you was right, PC. He was partnered up with Atlantic Records and Motown so they could distribute his records, like put it in the stores, get it in the stores, make them. Or, put it on the streaming platforms, stuff like that. Maybe a little promotion. He has since finished. Look at this, PC. This is what matters, though. He has since then finished those major deals and operates independently. Wow, that's huge right there. So this guy got 45 albums out at 26. He's independent right now. I wonder if he owns the rights to his catalog, because that'd be crazy. Which he probably does. And he got his own label. Fulfilled all his deals. Oh yeah, that's what he was saying to Future last time. He was like, "Boy, oh he wasn't signed to nobody." Crazy. Let's check these brands. This is his label brand. Look at the other labels. They're all like crazy looking. This shit got like a hypnotizing thing on it that allegedly looks like the 3 6s with an A on it. Why they gotta be so like, symbolic, these labels, symbols besides NBA, of course, which is just colors. What's this one? Like 3 lines, like 3 scratches in Motown. It's a V actually upside down, maybe an A. You know how the V is famous now. Warner. That's supposed to be a W. Why does Warner look like Motown? It's just a W. That's crazy. What's them 3 lines mean? This one got the same 3 lines, but just the other way. Young Stoner Life. That's Young Thug's label. That's the spider stuff, the spider web right there. But yeah, hopefully he speedy recovery to NBA YoungBoy. Hopefully his heart problems is not as bad as some people are thinking or assuming. And I wish him a happy life. Time goes by fast, You get old, so enjoy it while you can, right, chat? Time goes by fast and you get old fast, so enjoy that shit while you can. He's 26 too. He's right at that perfect sweet age. I missed when I was 26. That's when time starts to fly like this. Next thing you know, you're 35. You're almost about to hit the big 40. Ain't that right, PC? I'm young forever though. Alright, chat, I'm out of here. Thank y'all all for the support. Don't forget, hit that like button, sub up. Ha! She said, glad I'm poor, rich man problems. But them health problems, lately, everybody has been going through something or getting sick. Like, my mom just, not too major, but my mom just got bronchitis. They got this flu going around. I was talking about in my other video that's in the vegetables and stuff. You know what I mean? Bad shit in our tap water. It's like everything's poison now. The air's bad to breathe. Yep. Every good health, PC, is good wealth. Remember that. Ain't no point in being rich and having bad health. And I think that's what NBA YoungBoy is noticing too. That's why he dropped the lean. He not smoking cigarettes no more during interviews. He stopped the cigarettes. North Korea, the only thing I could think of, that's a place where you get rid of all the drugs, all the bad people. You know what I mean? Because drugs are barely even accepted in that place. So if you want to stay sober, healthy, and locked in, that's the place to go. Other than that, I don't see why you would go there. You're not gonna make no money. He could probably make music videos in his backyard and make money, but I don't think that's what he wants to do. That's what he was saying. But what would you do to live your life in South Korea? He said, and you don't speak Korean, and you're an African American. You're not gonna make music no more. You saying so? How do you live your life in South Korea? I don't know, maybe it's new to him. The experience is fun. I don't know. But my opinion, I don't think it's gonna last. And I'm clocking this in right now. He's gonna stay out there, maybe a couple months, maybe a year. He'll be back to the U.S. Ain't nobody locking in and staying in North Korea, especially with his amount of clout and fame. But he's one of those people, PC. He raps about it. He don't even got Instagram, really. He just deleted his Instagram, which he had for a couple of days. This man don't go on Instagram. He don't tweet. He don't do interviews. And still number one rapper. Still most songs. He just writes, writes, and writes. So he got a lot out in that interview, if you see. If you can see. He had a lot bottled up. That was 100 interviews in one right there. Exactly, that's true. But sure, that's a very odd place to move, I'll say that. But yeah, PC, I'm gonna see you in a few. I'm gonna go make something to eat. It's about that time. Maybe some corn dogs or something. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a good weekend. Make sure y'all got your notifications on. Y'all see me again soon. And hit that like button and sub up.